Hi guys, Sabine Priestley here. Today I want to talk about dreams or dream work. Totally different than what I usually talk about. I'm not sure why I'm inspired to go here today, but I don't really care because the inspiration's there. I have always, as long as I can remember, I have remembered dreams to a serious extent, to the point that a common refrain in my life is, did I dream this or did blah happen? A lot of dreams are very mundane. Obviously, if we're flying, it's probably a dream. But yeah, my entire life has been filled with this, and I mean, from a young child. So going back early on, the first home that I remember, the longest one I was ever in, actually, I used to have dreams of I was flying in my front yard, but it was a struggle. I was like trying to run and I couldn't move. You know, those dreams when you're trying to run and you literally can't move more than slow motion. It's kind of like that, but I was in the air and it was always a few people. Occasionally there was like a whole group, but normally it was just a few people. And I was struggling to stay up, to stay above them. And it wasn't all, I mean, that wasn't scary. That wasn't scary, but my childhood was filled with nightmares. I had chronic nightmares and I was a sleepwalker. I would wake up all over the house, or my mom would find me all over the house. And one of the dreams that I have recurring was robots. They were coming, and me being me, so I'd get out of bed to go to the bathroom, and I'd hear them, and I knew I didn't have time to get back to bed, so I had to just lay down on the floor and play dead and try not to breathe and try not to move. And this just happened over and over and over and over again. Um, and it was, yeah, it just, I don't know. I used to wake up screaming a lot. I remember that and the stories of that. When I was in my early 20s, I got really interested in lucid dreaming. Now, at this point, I was probably in my mid 20s because at this point, I'd had my electrical engineering degree and I was at my first job and still really interested in woo woo things at that point. And I was really, really fascinated by lucid dreaming and I got good at it. I got good at it. If anybody that's tried this, you know, the first few times you do it, you get so excited that you realize, oh my God, I'm dreaming and I'm aware that I'm dreaming and you wake yourself up. So, but after a few times, you calm it down, and I got good at it. I had some amazing adventures, flying over riverbeds and being a single point of light in space above the earth, and just zooming and zipping. And I was just a point of light, and I was going so fast. I was making letters and shapes and patterns, and it was exhilarating. Not having any mass. There's nothing. There's no like inertia when you change direction. It's just instantaneous, and that was incredible. I've flown through the rings of Saturn. That was really cool, but it was a little disappointing because I always kind of envisioned them being very colorful, and it was really kind of gray. But still, it was cool. Other things have been just really, really incredible. Now, those times I was, with the exception of that time when I was a point of a light, I was embodied. I felt like, you know, like felt like I had my astral body, if you will, with me. But there's been a few times where I was not, I was lucid, but I wasn't in control. So this is more recently. This is 2019. All right. Fast forward past my dark night of the soul. I've been doing a tremendous amount of work on spiritual growth and everything. And I'm driving across the Sunshine Skyway Bridge shortly before I'm going to go nomad and dream, of course. And I, for some reason, I ended up driving off the bridge at the very top of the bridge. And as I'm falling, I realize it's okay. I'm dreaming. I'm not going to get hurt. And then my vehicle's falling and I'm next to it now. And then I was literally pulled underneath the water down into the ground. First it's rocks and then it was pipes and big pipes and little pipes and all stone walls. And I'm in like, uh, I want to say this, a narrow space, right? It's like a crawl space, I guess you'd say. And it's plumbing or electric or I don't know what. And I'm zooming through this and then I'm up and then I'm in a room, this long stone room that's got a big long table. There's tapestries and stuff on the walls, big windows off to the right, two windows off to the right. And there's nobody there. and I'm walking, and this is embodied again. I'm walking through this chamber, and walking through this chamber, and there's a doorway, and there's like three different directions. I can go slightly to the right, to the left, or farther to the right. There was a big room, and I walked into the big room, and it's empty except for a really big bed. And I started laughing, going, "Well, that's really subtle, isn't it?" And I laughed to the point where I woke myself up. But thinking about that dream, it was fascinating because I was lucid, but I wasn't in control. I was taken to this place. And then well, I guess that was 2019. I think it was last year, late last year. Same thing. So I've started calling this falling. And when this happens, it's a sensation of falling. So the bridge, as far as I know, the bridge was the first one. But there've been a number of other dreams where I'm falling, and this could be a really long post. I won't go into a lot of it. Some of them are really incredible, really interesting. But anyway, so the not the most recent one, but the one I wanted to discuss was, again, I'm falling, and so I recognize this feeling now, and I just let it go. Like, okay, where are we going now? Where are we going this time? This is another one where I was sort of disembodied. I didn't feel like I was in a body form, but I was flying through the universe at massive speeds, to the point that there were galaxies going by me. And at one point, it must have been a sun. It was a very white sun, and it was massive to my right, and it went by. And then I was taken into a solar system, for lack of a better word. There were planets and things around, but there were spaceships, all different kinds and shapes of spaceships, pointing every different way, just floating. And I've come to think of it as a spaceship graveyard, because it did not appear to be any activity or anything. I don't recall any lights in the ships. They literally just seemed to be floating there. And those intrigue me. Maybe that's why I'm posting this. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on what that might be. But going back to something that we can do. So lucid dreaming is a really interesting thing to practice, and it can be incredibly powerful. So in my 20s, I was still having nightmares. I wasn't waking up screaming, thank goodness. Occasionally I woke up in a different room, but um, I was having a repeated dream at that point, and it was something that was coming after me. And it was like a dark cloud. And I would have this dream, and more often than not, it would wake me up terrified, because I'm trying to run, and sometimes it was that slow mo, like I can't move and I can't get away, and wake up terrified. And it's probably a month or two into this lucid dreaming practice, I shocked myself. I woke up, in the dream, and I got up and I opened the door to my bedroom, and I was standing on the other side, and that totally freaked me out. That woke me up. And then a night or two later, same thing. I wake up, I'm in my room, I stand up, I get out of bed, I realize I'm dreaming, and then it comes. That terrifying thing is coming. And I turn to run, and I think, no, no, not anymore. This is a dream. And I turn around, and this big black blob, is like smoky thing, is there. And I ran straight into it head first. I just dove into that thing, woke up feeling released. And I never had that dream again. I never had that dream again. The nightmares stopped after that. And to this day, I can dip in and out of lucid dreaming. I don't have the ability. I have not practiced it like I was then. I was doing it every single night and got really good at it. But now and then I do wake up and realize, like these dreams that I mentioned, the spaceships and going under the Sunshine Skyway. I'm lucid in those. I know that I'm dreaming. And they're really fascinating. That, again, the agency seems to not be there. Something else is directing me. And I'm just incredibly, incredibly interested in this. So yeah, if anybody's got any comments on this, if you're the same kind of dream person that I am, let me hear about it. I would love to hear about it. I'd love to talk about it. I hope everyone has an amazing, magical day, because that's the way they should all be. As always, love and light. And until next time, cheers.